All right, we're back for one more for tonight, and I'm gonna head home and eat me some pizza and maybe even have a few cold ones. Anyway, we're gonna talk about Ridgid, and the first thing I want to say about Ridgid, something you may not already know. Ridgid is owned by the Emerson Corporation. Okay, the Ridgid that actually makes plumbing tools, like plumbing specific tools, that's Emerson. Ridgid Power Tools, the stuff you see in Home Depot, is actually a licensed copy of tools made by a company called TTI Industries. Okay, now TTI Industries also owns Milwaukee and Ryobi. So a lot of times you'll notice that there's similarities between those three lines. You know, you've got Ryobi for your homeowners, and some of their tools are kind of strange but imaginative and actually oddly useful. They actually make some pretty neat stuff. Then you've got Ridgid, which is, I would call that prosumer grade. It's not necessarily contractor grade all the time, but they make some good stuff, and it seems like it holds up. Matter of fact, my first real tool set when I first got started in the trades was a Ridgid 5-piece kit. Sawzall, circular saw, impact driver, drill, and maybe a light, I believe it was. And I still have that kit. It's 12 years old, and I still have it. So it's pretty good, and it's not bad. And then you've got Milwaukee, which even within the Milwaukee brand, you still have some of your lower grade prosumer, what I would call a prosumer tool, and you've got your high end, your fuel, your brushless, high speed, high power stuff that's meant for the professional and the contractor. But anyway, we're talking about Ridgid. That part of Ridgid is owned by Emerson. The people that make the pipe wrenches and all the cameras and all the other neat stuff they have. And I'm not going to really go into hand tools. They make a ton of stuff. They're pretty much known around the world for their pipe wrenches. They're pretty legendary for that. And their tubing cutters and pipe cutters, and they make tons of stuff. So we're going to talk about their cameras a little bit. Okay. Cadillac option. Okay. They're proud of them. I'm going to warn you, they're proud of them. If you ever price one, especially if you price a General Wire before you price one of these, you'll be surprised at how much more they want for them. But they are absolute Cadillac. They have all the features, all the bells and whistles. Even their basic models do. And they've got a couple of different sizes. You got a standard size reel, and you've got a mini reel, and you got a so a command module that can clip to it, and you got the compact command module. They make a couple of different models, and what I really like are these little small ones right here, the micro drain and the nano reel and whatever that one is, the M200 series. Those are small. Those are really compact. So it kind of bridges the gap between what will be a traditional like compact camera system and like an inspection camera. Like an automotive style inspection camera that's got like a 3-foot leader on it. This kind of bridges the gap between those two, and for the right guy, this might be a pretty nice thing to have. They're really neat, and like I said, absolute flat out like luxury Cadillac option. Okay, and they are proud of them, but they're very, very good. They are as far as I know, they're one of the best systems you can get. I could be wrong about that, but in my experience, as far as features and yeah, they're nice. They're really nice. And this is what their plumbing oriented locator looks like. They actually have two versions of this. The other one's yellow. That's meant more for like utilities, like electrical and things like that. Cadillac, absolute. Sorry, I'm bobbing and weaving like I'm drunk here. I promise I'm not. I'm still at the office. Anyway, absolute Cadillac option. Okay, this is a really nice locator, and there's all kinds of options. They you can buy sawn units for it. You can buy that's the main thing is they sell sawn units, and they got a couple different versions of it available. The one that's plumbing oriented, and it really just depends on what you're trying to do and how many features you want. Like if you want a kit that has extra batteries in it, or there are several options. Now, in drain cleaning, they make a bunch of different drain cleaning machines, but the one I kind of want to concentrate on, if I can find it, actually, it's on the next page. I mean, they make drum machines, sectional machines. They make They make tons of stuff, and you know, Ridgid is renowned around the world for their sewer machines. They are pricey, but they're good. They're very good. And you spend a lot of money on them, but you also get a lot for the money. So if you're looking for a Cadillac option, and I notice how I keep going back to that Cadillac, fancy, nice. These are really good. But the machine I wanted to highlight is this guy right here. That's the big version, but it's called the Flex Shaft. That's a smaller one, and then there's a tiny baby one right there. What the Flex Shaft does, I'm not going to play that video. Basically, what this thing is a chain knocker. It's a hand drill powered chain knocker. So you hook you lay it on its side, and you take your basic power drill and you chuck it into the side of it, and you've got a cable, but it's a special cable. It's actually a cable inside of a sheath, all the way through the entire machine, all the way through. So it's completely sheathed, and when you run your drill, it spins the bit on the end of it. It's like a chain knocker bit. It's meant to clean off like grease and gunk off of sewer lines. And it's a really interesting concept. I don't know of anybody else that makes a sewer machine like this. I know a guy that has, I believe he has the 204. That's kind of the mid-range size one. And he raves about it. When he first bought that thing, he kept asking me, when are you going to start keeping these? You should start keeping these. And I'm like, well, I don't know. It's a new thing. Yeah. You should keep this thing. It's really good. And apparently it is pretty good. It's the real deal. One really nice thing about this machine is because that cable is sheathed all the way through. If you've got a camera, you can actually tie your camera to that same line and feed the camera as you're running the sewer machine. Now, with a traditional sewer machine, you can't do that. It's a bad idea. You'll tear your camera up. With this one, because the way the cable is sheathed, you can actually do that. So that's something to keep in mind. It's a really unique. As far as what they make, it's by far the most unique thing they make. And they carry a ton of other stuff too. Like, you should definitely get on their website and check them out. They're known around the world for a reason. And as far as I can tell, the quality, at least as far as the Emerson made stuff, is still as good as your grandpa remembered. They're just very proud of it. so don't let the don't be sticker shock or sticker shocked. But yeah, if you run across anything, or if you have any comments to make or any suggestions to me, by all means, let me know. That's about all I have to say about that.